All right, am I live here? The microphone works. The real question is, am I live? I think I am. Hey, Stellar, how are you? I see myself here. All right. Everything looks good. All right, we start. We play some rapid game. We explained that syncing process. Remember, syncing process is actually the goal. We are. I make the moves and I explain them as I go along, even if I lose on time. Here we go. 2,500. All right, E4. Do you dance, sir? C5. B4. This is a wing gambit. Some kind of a gambit if you guys are into a gambit. Let's see how he handles this. I actually drew this guy before. I beat it before. We take, sir. So this one is interesting. It's probably should have been like D5. Like D5 here. D5 here, it's okay, supposedly, yeah. But now I could play this. I could play that. D4 is probably met by knight of 3. Let's try this. Haven't tried experiment with this move. D4. So if he plays queen b6, his bishop b2. He's probably going to play bishop g4. Maybe h3 though. Some kind of novelty. Because you know what doesn't want. I don't want to pin myself when he plays here. If he plays bishop f5 anyway. I mean, this is a move that he's going to play anyway. Bishop b2. e6, some kind of a caro structure, supposedly. So I could play bishop d3. If we could trade, that should be good stuff. Knight e2. Try to get the knight over here. If he takes, queen takes, supposedly knight g6, get the other bishop involved. He's also queen b6. Yeah, that's true. But I'm defending that one. Supposedly castles is fine. He's still going to take maybe knight f5. I may have some problems developing this knight. Maybe some problems. This is kind of annoying move. Maybe here. Annoying move, sir. Oh, this is hanging. Do you dance? You know, do you dance? Maybe b4. This is e5. b5. Let's do it. I mean, hopefully he helps me out and takes, but he's not going to help. I mean, why your opponent should help you out? They would not help you out now and not the next few years. I mean, wow, he actually took. I'm not sure why he did that. You don't have to do that, sir. So we could play rook d1 now and possibly develop the knight. Maybe knight here, knight f3 now. There's also g4. There's also g4. Do you dance, sir? G4. Knight d2. Could we dance? There's also knight b3, knight c5. It's probably here so we could trade. Yeah, he's going to play h5. He's looking for an attack. Attack, sir. If he takes, he takes. Knight g6, king g2. If we could get rook h1, life is good. So we take... Is it knight g6? I don't think it's take, though. Because queen here, this is helping white. Getting so fast to king g2, rook h1. Yeah, this move is pretty interesting, though. Very interesting, sir. I wonder if knight g3, knight h5 kind of ideas, or here takes... I mean, I'm defending d4. Not so worried about it. The bishop is defending d4. It doesn't have to be the knight defending. Here is rook takes, and he's getting the other rook involved. The problem is g4. Maybe if knight g3, knight g6. It's also there. Knight h5. Bishop c1 even. All right, let's try this. And I can't do this yet. Rook takes g4. I have to do a little bit of defense. Now e5 is b5. Falls with e4. So here, if you take that, the bishop is hanging. Decisions, you know. What are you doing, sir? No, queen d5. That's strong move, I guess. Maybe. Hold on a second. I could still take an f3. And then... I take the queen first. It's actually tough what to do. If I take the queen... actually, take the queen is knight f3, though. But maybe here first, rook takes, queen, take the queen, takes here, f3, rook h8. King g2, rook h2. Or I could take here, here, f3. I think it's fine, though. If you take the queen, it's fine. I mean, the knight is stopping h1 once you play f3. The real question is, do I need the queens on? Maybe I don't want the queens on. We trade f3. If he plays here, it's just king g2. Actually, king g2, rook h2. Take this one back. But he doesn't. Maybe he wants to play here. So supposedly here, rook g2, king f2, I guess. A little bit of awkward defense, but it does hold. I just forgot about like one detail here that he may have this in between moves, like rook here, maybe, and then he gets a other rook involved. So I'm also forgetting about this move. Not playing well though. Supposedly here. He checks. Oh, he picks up his pawn. Not cool, sir. That's not cool. D4 is hanging. Just about everything is hanging, actually. That's the big pawn here, and I'm not happy about this pawn. Not happy about this pawn. Maybe still some play, though. Knight h5. You can still play your rook h2 here. Knight h5, maybe some ideas against this pawn if you push knight f6. Knight h5 now. You could play here king over. Actually, you could play rook here. Rook here is playable. You could sack that pawn. Not cool. Knight takes, rook takes. Oh, this is terrible. This is not good though. F4, rook c2, king here, knight f3. This is horrendous. Not liking this at all. Looks like it's lost. Do I need to sack something here? Yeah, so rook c2. I wonder if I could do this. I don't think I have any compensation. It's lost anyway, so that's the reason why I'm gambling. He could take here, it's a sack. You could even try that. That's actually checkmate, yeah. Rook c4. Not good though. Yeah, not a good game for me, but alright, g6. This is actually the modern defense, supposedly. d6. Knight c6. Let's play this. We go back. We have the long range. Long range, sir. Hey, how's it going? No, Twitch later today. How's it going, sir? Twitch later today. Knight f6. So knight c3, defense e4. That's true. We could castle now. So bishop e3. Developed. This is what he's supposed to be doing. Yeah, the previous game, yeah, was pretty annoying. Yeah, it was indeed annoying. c6, supposedly here. If we could trade down, bishop d7. Maybe rook c1, f4. Yeah, rook c1. Why not? There's always f4. There's always f4. How to handle this? How to handle this, sir? Maybe f5, gearing up for f4. So f4 is met by like f5. I'm not sure if this is really the way to play. Supposedly it's an idea, but is it a good idea? f5, he takes, rook takes, e6 becomes weak. Flat stance. Weak, but not lost. I'm still have an active bishop though. That's any kind of tick is okay here. I just need to watch out for e6. Maybe sometimes you play like e5 in these kind of positions. You could like sack a pawn. I remember playing a famous game of me like back at the day when I used to play OTB tournaments. Very similar to the structure. Maybe not the rook at f5, but I had to play like e5. It was this kind of structure where he took here and e6, and it was okay. I mean, the computer even when I looked it over after, it was like it's okay. I mean, black was never in trouble. So he plays here. Actually, maybe it's c5. So if he takes, this may be okay. I don't know if I like bishop d4. So this kind of helps black develop. I mean, the knight was on e8. Decent, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, some of the moves could be it could be approved or disapproved, depending on the position. So e5 is actually taken. This is not cool though. Maybe it's like here in e5. So maybe this, but actually this gives another hole. It's a difficult position. I mean, I know ahead of time. So probably here. So maybe I could still do this with knight d4. Maybe he probably had to play f3. So the real reason for rook e2 being a problem, because I think it's f3, something like 94. You know, you probably need to keep an eye like the f3, 94, knight g5. Keep attacking. I mean, you could even do knight e6 later on. If you take is always like rook takes. The reason rook e2 might be a bit of a mistake though, because I could still play e5. Supposedly knight takes. d6 becomes weak, but I might be heading toward knight d4. And that should be a problem. That might remove the rook from e2, and f2 is still questionable. So I have to play this move, even if he gets to play knight d5. So now once you play e5, the position does change now. What if he doesn't take? Then black is back. There's like no weaknesses per se. No weaknesses per se. Yeah, he's probably debating should he take or not. He's probably telling himself, wasn't f3 better? Like, why should I? He didn't take. Like, he knows this is kind of a trouble. Once you play knight d4, the position is getting active. But a4 doesn't really doesn't do much. Not sure what he's trying to do. Maybe we have different ideas now. Knight h5. There's still this potential. This ideas could still happen. Knight e4, knight g5. If I'm not really careful, like knight h5, maybe knight e4. Knight f4, maybe still coming. Knight h5 is g3. You do always have to watch out for g4. Also, g4 could be potential. I don't have rook g5. The queen is on it. Maybe I play here. Knight f5. Maybe here attack the pawn. If he plays here, knight f5, knight e4. This is probably tough. Yeah, I don't understand e4. It just feels like he lost a big turn here. Maybe here you had to play like f3. Consider f3 being a move. So he plays b3. You could always consider rook d4, but it just feels like the rook doesn't belong here. Like it's kind of like it does seem active, but it's the rook always need to have open files. f2 is a target. There's probably knight f5. So I'm saying the knight is better than the rook on d4. So I'm heading towards d4. Again, b3 is going to be a problem. Doesn't he lose an exchange here? So he played f3, but here's the issue. It's a little bit too late. Like f3 could have been a move long time ago. Now I'm actually hitting rook takes. Here, knight takes b3. There's a lot of things to consider. He played rook b1. There's rook takes, and I'm debating should I take on f3 or take on e2. I have a problem like with knight takes because this is a very powerful knight on d4. Rook takes maybe an like a preference. Keep attacking and keeping the strong knight. I know there's an exchange. I mean, we all know this is an exchange. Decisions, man. Take this way. So if he takes, you lose the queen. So at least when I give up my knight, it would beat for the queen. After e5, e4. Rook e3. I don't understand it. I mean, he's moving away. He's trying to move away from... I could also consider trading, but I want to keep the pressure on. So here, maybe knight f3. So again, this is trouble. I'm looking at queen f7, like looking for mating ideas now. Do you have time, sir? There's no knight g5. I could always play h6. He has this. Ooh. No time for that. No time for this one. Still rook f1 takes mate. h3. You could probably still do this here, here. There's some kind of rook f2 maybe if you get carried away. Makes sense, sir. Do I have this? Takes rook f1. He may have knight takes d6 at the end of the line, but... So here's a trick, mate. Yeah, I'm just worried about d6. Maybe it's not a big deal. In some cases, I could even sack if I want to, I guess. But so here, knight d6. Oh, I could take here. Yeah, I could take here. I just noticed I could actually take a knight d2. Yeah, you take a knight d2, and that's this should be game actually, because I have plenty of pawns supposedly. Yeah, I mean this is. I could play b6. I could play anything here at this point. Queen f4 is playable. You cannot take this one. Queen d4. Yeah, this is completely strong. Completely strong for black. Not much he could do though. h3, the only move I think. We could even play b6 now. Queen d4. Looking for some kind of trading now. I mean, 2 pawns here is pretty rough. I mean, considering the queen is not going here, this kind of stuff. So I have to watch out for this one and the clock. Nothing much going on. You did, sir. Stopping rook f3 though. I mean, rook f3 was the move. Rook e3 is okay. Maybe you just protect. This position is too much. Maybe I just reroute here, and it's gonna be winning somehow. Winning somehow. Stopping all the counterplay, I think. I'm trying to figure out a way to like trade. Way to trade. All right, h4. He's gonna repeat the same moves over and over again. This move is it's not playable for now. This move so I could stop here for future reference. Now we could move the queen. Maybe we put the rook here, the queen here. Some kind of queen d4. Reckless move though. G4. He doesn't have anything to punish my king on f5. So anytime he moves his queen, the rook is hanging. He's stuck though. He's just making repeating moves. I just need to find something quick. What is this? Oh, this mate. Oh, look at this. Look at this move. I forgot about the mate, sir. All right. This is not cool though. Look at this. Unbelievable, sir. Unbelievable. It's coming with check. Everything is falling. Wow. From winning to losing. And he's not giving me a rematch. Wow. That's nice, sir. Wow, that game is terrible though. I mean, the clock was an issue. I was just making I should have probably played a little bit fast. We can. Hold on. Supposedly. Let's see. Yeah, here I'm winning. Knight f5. Supposedly everything is good. Oh, you don't. I don't have it in. Yeah, I don't have it in here. The way I have the set of the board. So the position was here. So technically here the computer is giving me, hold on a second. It's giving me knight f5 was the best move. Here it's like, obviously rook takes was best. Yeah, it tells me rook takes was best, not knight takes c2. You can see the difference. So my decision was rook takes was best. It's like minus, like once here, he's just totally lost. Probably missed queen g4. Yeah, maybe queen g4 was probably more because he plays here and then he could take takes and then some kind of rook f3. Something like here, rook f4, knight f3 ideas. Here is just rook takes. Yeah, this is completely lost. Yeah, here I could do whatever I want to do. Here it's just simply I missed. I'm still winning here all across, even after king f5. Now I missed this move. Yeah, I missed the fact that he could play rook f3. So maybe just simply rook e5 and then queen e1 and then you prepare. I mean queen e1 is so he could, if I play here he just takes. So maybe king g6. But where's the winning ideas? I mean here I was stuck with the winning ideas. Computer's giving me e5, queen e1 again, rook e8, queen e2, queen f6. Maybe you go for this one, but then it's just more like repeating king h2, queen e5. Ah, then here, potentially, queen f6. There should be a way to win here. The computer here sometimes is just giving me a repetition of moves, and then there's a winning line. It's -4 here. I mean, it's there's a way to win, but 2 pawns. I mean, it's not really 2 pawns deficit though. I just find it funny that my opponent wins like this. You ask for a rematch, he just simply doesn't want to play. It's just very weird sometimes. I mean, typically when I win like this, I try to give a rematch anyway because if I win easy, I mean, won a game that I should have lost. I mean, at least I owe him owe my opponent like a rematch. Should he win or lose, that's okay, but at least give him another game. I mean, especially when it comes to rapid, because people are maybe both games are different, but I mean, look at this. I can't find a game. I mean, I might be sitting here waiting for a game, and he might be waiting for a game and not playing. So sometimes people are look at this. But now it's my turn to take him down. Look at he aborted the game. I mean, look at this kind of behavior. Unbelievable guy. He's waiting for a game, and then once he get a game, he's aborted. And instead of owing me a game, I mean, okay, we have a grandmaster. Unbelievable guy. All right, so this guy is good, I know. He disappear. This guy's very good. We're playing a Slav. Could we play semi-Slav? We are in the semi-Slav. Takes. We're not playing the most dangerous line. We're close to it. Bishop e7, so technically e6. This is very sharp ideas. This guy's good, though. He's very good, though. I mean, 27 for a reason. But I happen to know he is very strong. Played him a couple times. Had my share of beating him before, but speed, sir, speed. Semi-Slav are very sharp opening. I actually like it. If I want to win games, this is one way. The only reason I sometimes don't like to play the semi-Slav is because it may lead to the Slav. Like by the time you get to the semi-Slav, you may have to walk into people could do like the exchange Slav. There may be a way to play Queen's Gambit instead of the Slav, but there's no way to force the semi-Slav. But it's very good opening. It's very sharp. You could see this is like usually what happens. I used to play it for a long time. It's very sharp ideas. So e4 is typical. Bishop e7. So if he takes, it always takes this way, fixing the pawns. If white plays passively, which is always potential, you might just be up a pawn, especially with this kind of side of the board. You also have the pawn majority, which I mean, that's one of the reasons I used to play it, because sometimes people doesn't understand what to do. Rook b1. It just feels passive to me. I just wonder. So here, I don't know about queen c2 is a move. Supposedly it's a line. I think the most precise one is like bishop g5 and also e3. This is the main two moves. I mean, I love bishop g5 because this walks into the direct, the Putivnik line, right, which goes all the way to 60 moves. 60 moves deep, to be honest. And I used to remember. Yeah, so this line and rook b1, it just feels like a little bit passive. It's just maybe castle. I mean, he could still play b3 and all this kind of stuff, but you sleep on the pawn. Yeah, that could easily happen. And there's tons of time where even against strong players where I managed to take the pawn and they may not have much going for it. So I take rook takes. It's just like developing now. So you may still do this e5 ideas. It's probably okay. So knight d5, e5, knight d5. He takes. Maybe take this way. Maybe my pawn structure is a little bit shaky, but He's also like before e5 if I'm able to get this kind of stuff. This looks really dangerous if white allows it. He has to play this. So the real question is, should I go here or 95? So if I go for this one, this allows him to come back, to take the pawn back. And that's not really the point. How I handle this? All right, let's dance. Kind of passive. Knight e4. Did not expect this move. I actually felt like bishop d3 is more dangerous, actually. But I'm not sure about knight e4, though. Oh, usually they do knight c5. That's what it is. Maybe it's b4. So there's one issue here, like before a5, if black managed to get this, we have a game. I mean, we already have a game, but this is... So I'm trying to remember, when you have the rook on e1, you don't really have b4. This is very critical difference, because they usually do a5. You could weaken up b4. So the issue here, and it's a big one, b4, e5 has a stake. So the rook is sitting on b3. It's a little bit of a strong detail. One of the concerns for white. There's also c5. c5 is... No, that's... It's also here. This is actually what I'm missing. There's also f5. Knight g5. Take here, take there, queen e7. I'm not sure if I like this. Let's try this. Weaken up my position. f5, b4. I was getting ready to play b4, but I saw something that I didn't like knight g5. Because the knight is sitting on e8. Maybe I had f5. But e6 was weak. That's actually the problem. Like knight g5 with the queen lining up this way felt really bad for me, considering you can still defend it, but e6 is gonna fall. Like knight takes e6 in some line. So I had to play like h6 to avoid this knight g5 jump for now. So I understand knight e4. So now he's trying to get this. Yeah, that's actually a bit concerning. Now we have some issues. Okay, so f5 now has to be there's no time to delay this kind of stuff. You want to swing the rook here, and there's no time for that, sir. Do you dance, sir? Do you dance? We take, sir. We take. Yeah, the semi-Slav pawn structure is usually messy. Usually doesn't make sense for a lot of people. So he went with this one right away. We still attacking. Still in the attack, sir. The attack is heavy, though, maybe. The attack is coming. maybe knight takes here, bishop takes. Oh, this is fireworks. I enters the fireworks. So here is met by bishop takes. Supposedly rook takes, I could swing the king, and this is welcome to party time. But he may just go for he may try to get this to work somehow, like maybe he may take here. But this is not easy stuff though. I mean, supposedly, or you could take this way, yeah. Supposedly this works. The only problem here is I could take a knight e4. And this is not easy at all. This is kind of crazy. I wonder if you could still take in between moves. I think I have knight e4, so I could take here. This is like a critical grab. And knight e4. So knight e4 to block this insane rook that I'm seeing here, creating this attack, also stopping him coming there. This is one idea that he was doing this. There's also bishop e4, but I think it's knight e4. It's more proper. Maybe bishop takes e5, f2 becomes a huge issue. So knight e4. Do I have what I have after this? What if he plays rook g4? Is it here? Bishop e3 though. Is it queen takes e4? This is laughable. I have to do this. There's no question about it. There's rook d3, but I don't think this move makes sense. Rook here. Um, is it bishop g5 is happening? Rook d3. Bishop e4. Oh, and the flag here is going to be rough. The flag here is going to be f queen d4. Bishop g5. So I know if I take here e6, king h8. Wow, this is crazy. Knight takes e5. Bishop e3 though, rook c8. No. Yeah, very wild. May have to pre-move at this point. There's nothing else left. Nothing else left in the cards here. This is gonna be all in. Take your time, sir. Make it make it challenging. It may turn into a bullet game. And he's also a bullet player. He's also fast. I mean, he's crazy good though. I think he beat Nakamura before, so he's much more. He's capable. I don't know if he's streaming. I think usually he streams on YouTube as well. I think he's very good though, and he has this weird style. You could see what I'm seeing here. It's we get a little bit of the action. I'm pre-moving at this point, so I don't lose time on the clock. And he played here. Okay, that's interesting. Ooh. He's offline. Did I lose here? It doesn't look like it's good, though. Losing the knight there is not cool. No, this is not good at all. This is not good at all. It's not good, sir. This is hanging. This is hanging. Is he offline? Wow. I mean, I don't think he is. He didn't take? Ooh, that's crazy. I felt like he could take. Why didn't he take, sir? I mean, there's bishop c5 that I need to... Oh, I actually lost... Yeah, I had to play rook c7. I'm always confused by his move, so, I mean... Alright, this is lost, but... I was confused by this move, though. Not cool. Yeah, this is horrible. This is horrible. Yeah, I mean... Let's see. The game review is all over the map, I suppose. Wow, 80%. I still believe it's 94, though. We'll see. Yeah, I was better here. Oh, this is a mistake. So what I should be doing? Takes. Ooh, take this way. Oh, hold on. Where's the follow-up? Hold on. I can't find... This is probably better for me to see the moves. So here... Yeah, so here... This is all black. Oh, I see. This move is not... This is a move. Yeah, this is actually to keep an advantage. So supposedly if you go for this one, I forgot that this is actually being key move. And if you were to take this way, pawn takes anyway. It's like a mess. So this move is met by queen c7. Yeah, so this is really messy. c5. Yeah, this is where I went wrong. And then e5 is good. Knight e5 was a move. Yeah. Yeah, so knight e4 is wrong, which is funny though. Knight e4 is wrong. The computer heavily likes rook d1. It doesn't like knight e4. I actually felt like it was bishop d3. Like keeping this tension going on and then knight e4. But it turns out to be that I have some weird c5. So around here, the reason this is wrong, it's c5. Yes, this move is kind of like usually you do c5 in this kind of structure, so the point is actually here, and let's say you could do this. The point is you take. This was met by like obviously here and knight c5. This is actually the reason why it's a blunder. Knight c5. So this is really rough decision what to do from here. So if he has to take, and the problem is after he takes here, it's knight ge5, and then he plays g6. I mean, this is actually how I'm supposed to play. It's pretty wild. It's very wild stuff. So here he's actually because I didn't play c5, he's winning. I mean, he's better, not winning, but he's much better here, and especially after this move, I have to take with the other knight. And it's funny that here it's bishop takes. Yeah, this is actually sometimes grandmasters doesn't play the best moves. I mean, again, you need more time, just like I need more time. But here, this is the fun part. Supposedly here, and then you get the attack that you're looking for. This is much strong than queen g, some kind of knight g5. Look at this. Puzzle rush. Puzzle rush for you, and it's supposedly here you get hammered, queen g6. And how can you defend this? You just can't. Right? You just can't. Very fascinating stuff. I actually felt there was something like this going on. Like, this could have worked fast enough. So when he played here, this is so slow that the computer is basically saying c5. Like, now this is equal. Like, it's hard to imagine this is how this is equal to me, to be honest. This is like wild game for this to be equal. It's like, yeah, it's 94. It's 94 is the move. Bishop e4 is not the greatest. The way I think about this move is bishop e4, still allowing all these tactics to happen, considering the rook still on g3, right? The computer is giving some like weird, interesting line, like knight d3. Like it's basically saying, okay, I could pin myself here, and I'm still controlling the game. Like this is still a threat. So after king h8, he plays something so disturbing like queen b2, and this move, like here, if anything, he's actually gaining some momentum. Now with knight e4, I think the problem here is you need a direct follow-up, like meaning, yeah, black is actually better. Like this is actually what I mean by here. You do have to play precisely here, and I actually felt like rook g4 was the move, right? Rook g4 would have been the move here. And I felt like this is keep the tension like here and here, right? And in some lines, queen g6, right? So let's say you get carried away and play here. This should be lost, right? I mean, I was looking at queen g6, but bishop takes is very strong. The problem here, I think the reason he didn't do this, I think he looked at this and he felt like, what is the big deal? Like, knights just go back. So this is like a draw. Maybe he didn't like this because of the draw. I bet, it's possible draw. The problem with rook here, it's just simple rook c8, and it's just simple. Black is actually dominant here. Now the issue, I looked at this and I felt like he could still take, right? What is the issue here? Supposedly his rook takes, and let's say queen goes to b1. Yeah, so I forgot this small detail. Like the bishop is hanging, right? So it doesn't matter. I could still take, right? And rook takes c1. I did it the other way around, like with bishop g5, but this is more direct because he cannot take on e4. So this means if he cannot take on e4, it makes rook e3 a really bad move, right? Because supposedly the knight is really active. The next move, maybe even at some line, bishop takes c5. So let's say he plays here, bishop takes c5 is winning, right? Everything is protected. I cannot believe that I did not see this move properly enough. Because rook c8 does feels like it's completely winning. I mean, I don't think it's like an advantage. It's probably likely winning. Because there's a lot of things happening that I don't think he's able to defend properly. So the best move here by knight d3, knight takes c5, this is kind of rough. I mean, I don't think this is like an easy position to hold. Something like this, and the computer is basically saying Queen B1. I mean, if you have to play Queen B1, this is like red flag. And then still, Queen B6 is black is controlling the cards. It's not like I mean, this is not easy, I don't think. He dealing with pass pawn, and maybe he could still hold though. Maybe he could still hold knight e5 and bishop g5. This is all trouble though, I think. But anyways, I played the wrong move. Yeah, I played the wrong move that it went from like winning to losing. Yeah, this is terrible move because of c6, and he also had another move, king to. This is actually no. You could sack that way. I mean, look at this. This is like these strong pawns, and even here it's winning for black for white. b6. Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun game. It's a fun game. I just want to see one thing in the opening though. So here's the opening. So you can still play Queen c2, but it's not that you know. Oh, I see. Yeah. This is also something confusing about me, about this line. Not about me, but it's confusing about this line. I mean, I suppose it's e4. And then you try to take c4. e4 is kind of... It's a gambit kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know if I like this way. I mean, even here, I think e6 is a mistake, though. You just play bishop e7. You only play a6 when he plays e4. So something like this. You could see the computer doesn't... It's not on board. Like once you play e5, knight d5. So this is entirely different. Should you take that, that becomes like a disaster in a lot of ways. Because now this is like a clear pawn, right? So typically here, knight d5, knight d4. But then when you play knight f7, knight bd f7, this is still like all black, if anything. This is not an easy position, and if anything, I usually perform very well here because I'm used to this kind of positions in the past. For some reason, I misplayed c5 where? Yeah, you could play c5 at some point. Yeah, you could break on c5, like right now. Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the drawbacks. Yeah, so this is actually potentially makes things a lot worse for black. And bishop, you could even... there's also castle, but you could take on c5. Yeah, so if you get this kind of stuff, you know, if anything, black is active. You could still he could still play b3 though, and there's still like a little bit of a mess. c3 and you know, still like potential stuff happening. I typically do not rush c5. You know, I try to like slow play it. Like you don't have to be committed to anything. Like you defend your structure. Let's say, you know, he plays bishop d2, you castle. You might prepare. We could still play c5 here, supposedly. Yeah. It may matter when you have this, but you block the access to the bishop. Add to the rook on d1. I was confused about this line though because I did not get what I used to get. Like this is what I typically do. You know, they don't take on d5. But... So the point is, in this line, I was confused a little bit because you don't play e6. I mean, this feels like the computer doesn't... There's a reason why e6 is not good here. For one good reason, he just plays b3. Not a4, it's b3. And supposedly, if you go for this one, this is like enough compensation here, even after bishop b4. Yeah, you know, black still could claim something, but, you know, with the right play, there are some concerns here for black long term. Which is funny that here he's supposed to play just when you take here is just a4. This is a lot easier because here you play different stuff like bishop b4, and then you play like, let's say this like e4, e3 even. It's actually e4. So when you play b5, it's like a different kind of structure. It's just almost the same, but it's not as easy for black. So supposedly once you castle here, a6, b3, this kind of stuff. So do you put up some pressure here on the other side of the board? Let's say you play queen e5. This is still like e5. And then you have to be careful where to approach this by black, because if you play here, white is getting better, knight e4. So this easily could shift to white's direction. It depends on which move order you take. But the way he played it, so it's like, the problem with Simislav is because it looks like similar. The position looks like very similar to each other. It could get confusing, like, because I played a6 because a6 is a move that you do, like in the Simislav, right? And he may be playing e4. He's just going for the major lines, but with this kind of structure and bishop e2, it just feels like here is kind of slow for white, right? It's very slow, meaning that it looks like it's almost the same structure that you get, but it's a little bit passively for white. Can't we take the knight? We can, yeah, we can. You mean I've talked about knight takes c3? That's still very difficult, though. I mean, in this line. So this is actually. So the reason this is actually playable for it's not here. Supposedly around here, I had to do like c5. Yeah, c5 is actually not fd7 and then c5. Actually, not. Wait, where's c5? c5 here. Yeah. So c5 here is critical, and it's not. It's a very strong move, because supposedly someone could ask, why can't I just play here? Just b4, and this is the reason why it's pretty strong. You're attacking the knight, and if this were to happen, then a5. You don't have to take this one. So you could see the pawns are really silly for white. If you get this structure, it's gold, right? I mean, this is actually pretty strong. It doesn't matter if you have e5 in this line. This is really, the pawn structure for white is very bad. Actually, as a matter of fact, this is like close to winning it with the right play. Right, so you could play rook d1 assuming that you're controlling stuff, but you're not. Knight e6 and everything is like falling apart. So this is one reason. So that's the reason why you strike with c5, and you know, it becomes really difficult to hold. All right. Maybe, yeah, it might. Potentially, yeah. All right, one more game. One last game. We're losing all the games so far. Losing all the games. The last game we should try to win, though. Goofy, goofy, sir. Goofy, goofy. Queen's Indian. Haven't played this in like 20 years. Well, I played this in Blitz games. An OTB maybe like in a long time. Yeah, this is like boring line, and it's like boring line. Boring line for sure. Boring line for sure. What did he play here? C5? I forgot even. Is it C5? Did he take control over E4? I think this is a kind of a trouble because I can't shadow bishop here. He played E5. Some control over E4. Man. I mean, I haven't played it in a long time. Man. I mean, look at this. He's taking. I don't know why he's taking though. It's pretty strange. Knight f3. This is hanging. So maybe he takes. Yeah, this move comes in like shocking, like knight takes here. It's not really needed. It's not really needed, sir. Queen c2. Do you dance, sir? Do you dance? All right, rook b8. Defending. Defending this. Watch out, sir. C5, maybe. He played c5 himself, yeah. I take. I'm assuming he's missing this move. Rook b1. That's bishop d3, though. We attack here. We're attacking this. How strong is queen takes c7? This is hanging. It's hanging. So we could get the rook on b2. He takes an out. He may have an outsider pass pawn. Rook takes, queen takes c7, rook takes d2, queen takes c6, knight g4. May have an attack here. Rook f1. I mean, I don't want to play rook b6. This may allows knight b3 and some kind of knight c5 long term. Long term stuff. All right, sir, do your dance. Take on e7. Playing for a win here, so you're gonna need to be active. Have to stay active, sir. So you have a pass pawn. I mean, I could see this. I could see that. Then I'm just going for an attack. So if I could force him to play this, maybe we could get some kind of an attack. So this is could be played. You could play this kind of stuff if you could guarantee some attack. Yeah, if you cannot, then then this becomes like pass pawn without anything going. So if he plays passively, which he might, I cannot visualize him playing this, but he might. This feels like it's weird stuff. I mean, you cannot play queen f1. I could still take. He has to play rook f1. But I think passively is like rook f1 was kind of a passive stuff. But he played here. I'm actually confused by this move, queen e5 though. Oh, I see. This is h3 though. Ooh. Still playable. Yeah, I don't want to be like passive here. Takes. Knight c4. Oh man. Puzzle rush. Let's do it. Why not? We're having fun. Why not, sir? The king is sitting on a... I mean, the king is like naked, but it's okay. It's okay, sir. It's okay, sir. So the real question is it here allowing this kind of stuff? Or knight c4? It's, if rook b8 is rook here. Do your dance, sir. Do your dance. Again, this outsider pass pawn is going to be playing a huge role here. I need to do something quick. And there's potential you could sack back. He might sack back, which is kind of clever. I mean, supposedly he could do this. Would he be down a pawn? Mm, down a pawn. I have to move fast. Let's try this. In a way, I'm stopping this. Another way, he may have a4. Maybe rook e8. I just need to play h5 really fast. It's one way to keep attacking, and another way to keep like a safe. Like black rank might be a problem for me. h5. He has to be careful though. This is not an easy game. Black may have enough compensation here. So e5, e5. This one is not going anywhere, I don't think. Rook e8, queen c5. It could be hanging. So I play here. You're not gonna play e6. One reason why I had to play h5, there's some tricks on the back rank now. I don't have to worry about this, but I have to worry about the clock at this point. Rook e2, that's kind of interesting. It's not easy. Rook b8. Rook b8, sir. I would be concerned about what he's doing, though. Sometimes doubling up the rooks like this could backfire. You may need to keep one here, but not doesn't have to be two. So meaning, yeah, he's going for this one, and I know why, like here, and create some issues. This move could still be like playable even after queen c5. So let's see what is he doing. Here I have rook e7, which is fascinating. Why he's giving this pawn out? So here a7? I don't buy it though. Oh, there's a sack. There's no sack. There's nothing here. I don't buy it. And you need to watch out because black has like collecting a good amount of pawns. I mean, this is not. He plays here, but still not buying it. So he has here queen b7. So this is probably too slow here. So if he trades, that's what I mean by the two rooks. There's no way he can penetrate. Like, let's say if he takes pawn takes, he doesn't have a way to like play rook b8. As a matter of fact, I want him to trade. Trade is probably good for black. And then the king stop moving to d7. These positions are very deceiving sometimes. You may have an outsider pass pawn, it's always good. It's always good to play like this, but there's a good amount of pawns. Yeah, he's not trading. There's a good reason for that. Just need to watch out because obviously, rook b1. Did I miss this move? And I have. Rook takes. Who missed it? Is it me or him? I was about to say I dropped something, but I. So the point is here. That's... Do you dance, sir? Do you dance? I mean, if you lose this pawn, that becomes. I mean, if you lose this pawn, that becomes it becomes like hell. Yeah. So here, takes with check, and it's it's one of those positions you would never like to see against even like knight and rook in a situation like this is probably he may still draw though. It's not. He still have the clock and his advantage. It's not over though. But the fact that you lose this pawn is huge. Do you dance, sir? So obviously rook takes, queen takes. See, this is the reason why tactics is key. Like even at this level, 2400s, right? I mean, tactics still relevant. People could still lose something, right? Like a pawn. You know, it is still play. It's still like happen in this kind of level. So he plays here. He's still looking for rook b8 ideas. Clock. It's not easy because of the clock. That's my concern. Find a way. Oh, wait a sec. I could have played c5. Shoot. The rook is hanging. Maybe if we repeat one. Yeah, this is here. Wait, what are you doing? Oh, he wants to sack. Does it work? It does not work, I don't think. Oh, you can still play here. No, there's a rook here. What's your step, sir? Pre-move? I don't think he's gonna do it though. There was a reason why h5 is critical. Wait, I think this is lost. All right. Is the rook's down? If he forgot that the rook goes down. Yeah, so there was a small detail here. I would love to give him a rematch, but I have to get going. This is the only time. So around here, there was c5, right? Because he cannot take. This is hanging. I mean, I just cannot believe this. The c5, it's like the savior for me, because obviously here he just have to go back. You cannot, like, again, the knight is controlling some serious squares here. I mean, this actually feels like it's too much, because should you play, let's say, here? I'm assuming this is still not relevant. Because I could escape, though. Still here, though. And then you cannot escape the attack that is happening the other side of the board. Yeah, this is winning you. Yeah, I mean, the time pressure seems to be the issue in every single game, right? Even. Yeah, but if I could play a little bit faster, because I'm doing a lot of talking though, so I'm not used to, like, if I'm playing solo, I usually play fast. So here yeah, this is a draw. Yeah, this is like the computer is basically saying nobody has an advantage. Yeah, so around here, maybe S Queen E7. That's true. And then maybe Queen E7, Rook F1, I guess. This is how you should be playing. I mean, this is actually what you should be doing. You keep one rook here, you play with the other rook. I just felt like the other rook gets to E1. Like, for example, black is better here. It's funny that I just went back. Black is actually better in this situation here. I mean, the computer is basically saying knight f5 even. You don't go for the other knight, c4. Knight f5. Yeah, so this move seems to be key, though. I forgot about it. Because this seems to be, this pawn is huge, so he doesn't have a way. It was along with h5, I'm assuming, so something like, yeah, I could see h5 happening. So for example here, like h5, you know. Yeah, it's too slow, like too slow here, because he could take d4, knight c4. Yeah, I mean here, like here, he was shown check. And instead of, yeah, his queen was under attack. I mean, this is actually the move, right? So if you play, you mean here, like a4? Yeah, but the pawn is hanging. The pawn is hanging here. So by the time he defends it, he just goes to back to d2 before knight f5. Yeah, I suppose he could do this, but he just goes back to c3 though. So a little bit of defense. Knight f5, he's still defending h4. a4, h4, yeah. I mean, black's still better. I mean, it's not like he's not. I mean, g4, knight, you always have knight g3 ideas. Still, like, it's interesting. You have a pass pawn, right? Up in exchange pass pawn. There's also knight e2. The knight e2 doesn't work because maybe you have here. These positions are hard. Like, the reason they are hard because, like, you would assume around here. It's funny that I have to go back here because seems to be the critical in this game. So my understanding, it's like around here that that this move is probably, yeah, there's one tactic here that I missed. Maybe like this way is probably the best idea. Yeah, I may have missed this one. But when he plays here, excuse me, almost knocked down on my microphone. I actually missed queen d6. Oh, that's also another weird stuff. Yeah. I missed this move, of course, because queen takes here. That's great. There's no way around it. The computer is giving me this move. I mean, this has to be horrendous. If two miss bishop h3, yeah. I mean, it's the problem is the clock. There's another. I mean, there's a lot of things could happen. This combination of like distraction. I usually play when people talk to me. Like, there's a lot of things that could be happening. But normally I would not miss this move. But here, even this move is good from a strategic point of view. Like this is like the computer is giving me just like like this is good for black. This whole thing is good. The reason I'm saying this is hard because people would assume that white has to be better. Like they would assume that okay, black has a little bit of activity. There's some king issue maybe for white, something like after here. The reason this is not an easy game because he figured that what white need to do is like maybe defend, like let's say like I'm not here, queen d2 or something, or queen b4. I mean, let's say queen d2, and then you stop pushing the pawn, like rook b1 or something, and then you stop pushing the pawn. But it's not that easy, right? I mean, my opponent did something similar, but he still like lost, right? I mean, he tried the same thing. This is also very strange because the e5 was also very good. And it's supposedly here. So this feels like complicated. I mean, here, the only way to get some activity, because now not only that white has pass pawn, it's also black has two pass pawns with some targets on his king. So it's a trade-off because of the amount of pawns. I actually felt like maybe the best way could have probably be win for there's also like rook d1. Maybe something like slow like this, because when you do here, there's always bishop e3 and bishop h3. Yeah, the computer's giving me rook b8. Something like here, it's met by this way. Yeah, that's one way to play. Supposedly sack and then some crazy sack. Actually, some crazy sack on f2. Yeah, this is actually the point. Should be draw, supposedly. Yeah, I mean, it's a good game, though. a4, but knight e3. It's a good game, though. It's a good game with quality stuff. Yeah, so, I mean, the point of these games are educational. I mean, there are some mistakes here and there, and it's typical to happen. Um, but, so we'll end it here because I need to take break, of course. We are still at like 2462, which is still like high enough. So later today, we should be back to Twitch, and we have a puzzle rush run. I'm right now at 90, looking for 100. One mistake, so this is gonna be fun. So this is gonna be fun today specifically. So I'm gonna be back around 7 or something, maybe even early than that. We'll see. But I figured that we do a little bit of combo, like streaming here, there, and we'll see what happens. All right, thank you for tuning in, sir, and hopefully we're gonna have higher numbers in the future. We have like 5 or 6 people. Hopefully it goes up by the time, and we'll be back later today, folks. Hopefully you guys enjoy that, and we'll be back later tonight. Thank you, folks. Thank you for the whole 5 of you. We'll be back later.